searching for James Thomas.
The first movie really is masterful in a way that like it is kind of lightning in a bottle.
Can't replicate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Never did.
Mm-hmm.
It has this like super clever twist to literally every detail. Like I think so a lot of the humor is just like these like clever little explanations for things of just like, oh, that's creative.
I feel like a lot of the humor in the first movie lies on it's either a combination of like the characters just playing off each other so well. Like Tommy Lee Jones as Agent K is so great in the sense that like
Yeah.
he's just a guy doing his job. Like the
Yeah,
crazy
and for me, that's like where like the charm of these movies come from. Is just like it's just people at work.
Well, what I would also say is that you want to talk about, how weird it is being a human being in 2025 and just the sad future we live in is,
Yeah.
if you talk to a 10-year-old today and you ask them about Will Smith, he's kind of a weird aloof.
Oh, he's the guy
the slap guy.
that guy who hit somebody at the Oscars,
Yeah, but
right?
in 1997, this might be peak Will Smith, and that's saying something because that's one of the biggest stars there ever was. If you could actually give a movie to aliens to explain, what life on Earth is, you'd say, look at Will Smith's charisma in Men in Black. He is
I mean,
on
yeah.
fire.
He's at the top of his
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
I forget if this is a year after Independence Day. I'm pretty sure. So yeah.
Yeah, so
1997.
And that's not a charisma he replicates for the other ones either. Like he tries, he comes close, but in the first one, he's just him being a fish out of water is so perfect.
well, and pardon me for using IMDb trivia for some talking points, but he originally passed
please
on
do.
the script and said he didn't want to be associated with just doing alien movies constantly. And it was Jada Pinkett Smith who was like, "This script is cool. You should do it." Because I thought the opening 3 scenes are really fantastic because you kind of have 3 central plot lines. And you have the opening with K at the border, which establishes neuralizers, establishes Men in Black, establishes what they do, has a cool monster. And you immediately go to J, which sets up his character arc. And then you immediately go to the villain and what's going to be the villain's story. And as far as just kind of like a big, dumb Hollywood movie, it is structured really well. And it introduces all 3 of these plots. They're all engaging and exciting and funny. I usually spend most of my time shitting on movies because most movies are bad, but it just opens so well.
Yeah, no, there's no fat to trim with this movie as far as like every scene is constantly pushing forward into the next. Like everything means something. Like you're constantly.
It's so clever and pared down. It's a half hour shorter than the fourth one.
Yeah. There's no fluff whatsoever. And even beyond that, it's funny that as far as I feel like these it kind of fits within the theme of Men in Black. Like these characters are so well defined in terms of their personality. We don't really learn at least in this first movie, we don't really learn anything about the past of these characters. Like we don't know, if like
you get a sense for these characters just by how they act because they're such strong actors.
Yeah, like they never mention
and strong personalities.
Yeah, they never mention if Jay has like a family or anything, like a girlfriend or whatever. Like it's not. I guess
it's not important.
It can be assumed that like anybody who decides to join the Men in Black are people who just like don't have anyone anyway.
One of my favorite gags from Men in Black, and it shouldn't work because I hate it when big action movies deflate their attention. I feel like they shouldn't do that. But when they find out that Earth is going to be exploded in 10 minutes, I think Rip Torn has a line is like, Earth's always going to be about to explode in 10 minutes. This shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
The police are searching for James Thomas.